Odomville, get back.
We got our arms cut, you know, those leaves.
Oh, like razors.
I really wasn't looking where you was running. You just running.
Hey, everybody here knows Billy Walter.
Billy
Walter Odom. Who was his dad?
Billy Walter Odom.
I remember
I
this.
think his daddy's name, but he really comes in on the Odom side, Huber side, kind of with the Odoms and
Fred?
yeah.
At his funeral, you talk about seeing that Kane get shot at his funeral, one of his buddies, how old was Billy Walter? He'd be 80 years old in his life. Right?
Yeah.
At least, maybe a little older. But one of his buddies says that him and Billy Walter was at a Sunday school party one night. Watermelon party at the Sunday school place. Run out of watermelon. They said, don't worry about that. I put you on the watermelon. So they go down and this man's passing out there stealing watermelons and he catches them. He shows up. He got a gun. He threatened them all kind of mean, ugly stuff he's going to do to them and says, and I know who you are. And Billy Walter said, I don't think you know that. Or they're going to have to pay $5 a piece in watermelon, which is a lot of money. Man, we can't pay that much. Well, I know who you are. And Billy Walter said, I don't think you know me. Yeah, I know you. You one of them Bell boys. Didn't think you knew me.
Caught me, huh?
Yeah, well, you got me.
Yeah. Well, where were you and Marindale at when he used that chicken snake for a whip and caught you?
Come on in.
Off the head off.
Was that back here between here?
At the Parker
That's
place.
what I thought it was.
Yeah, he pulled that thing out of one of them old well buckets, you know, and them long buckets.
Yeah, bottom come up.
Yeah, they had a check valve in them.
Still
And it was,
kicking.
Still kicking. Yeah.
we were living over here when that happened, but we went back over there and got, you know, rat hunting. We did a lot of rat hunting. Me and them Mott boys, Irvin and Marvin and them. Anyway, he looked in there and there was that chicken snake, and I knew what he was fixing to do. Swinging that thing, I was backing away from him. He popped it and that mouth was open and it hit my arm and it stuck. And I was slinging and dancing.
My
Well, Marindale tell that
goodness.
story.
Damn.
Told us that he done
We
that.
asked one question. You got to practice doing that.
Well,
You got to practice that. Now, who's going to practice
Marindale.
slinging a snake around your head?
Marindale, he caught
They
snake
might
all
have
the
been the
time.
same as popping a whip, you know.
Well, Marindale tell that story, and he said, Jimmy Howard, no way, any way you ever said it, could Jimmy Howard outrun me. He said
Got
he
another
couldn't do
one?
it. But he said that day I
Got another
couldn't even
one?
get close. All I could see was a hill of dust. But I tried to run it down and help him get it off.
Good.
That's why I
Oh,
asked
yeah, I
you.
know you're trying to help him get it off.
I'm good right
I
now.
know
Thank
that's
good
what
right
you're
now.
doing.
I'm good.
Marindale,
Thank you,
right here
Dad.
behind the house, that right little field set behind the house, an outhouse set back at the back of that little old pasture wasn't a field pasture. He was out there mowing one day. He stopped and got off the tractor, and he kneeled down in front of that tractor. Well, I had on a pair of overalls, and I was fooling around the house, and I seen him out there, so I go out there to see what he's doing. I'm about 15 years old. And I bend over, and when I bend over, he grabbed me by the overall strap. He caught a big old chicken snake. Got off. That's what he was doing. And he had that chicken snake on. And he pulled my, bib down, trying to put that chicken snake down my.
Wow.
And Marindale's about 12 years older than I am, so he was grown. But we rolled around there and kicked, and I got loose from him, and I took off across that pasture, and he took off after me for that snake. And we come to that back fence at the house. I just jumped it. I didn't worry about going through the gate. I just went over the fence, and I run around, run up the steps, and run in there, and they Ruby was cutting up chicken, cooking chicken for supper that night. She's cutting that up. And I said, run in there. She said, what is wrong with you? I said, that retarded boy yours, ain't Ruby. He's at it again. I said, he got a snake he's trying to put on me, trying to put down my overall. He come to that kitchen door and he had that big old chicken snake and everything. He had that thing at the kitchen door. But I got between Aunt Ruby and the sink. She had a big old bush and she turned around, she said, boy, if you bring that snake in here, I'm gonna cut both of your heads off. Bring that snake in this kitchen. So I stayed in there. I felt safe enough. He done went back after and I seen him on there. But he was forever doing that kind of mess.
Well, we lived in that old Harley place.
Cool.
Me and Dad was cleaning out an old crib one time. And the door wasn't big enough you could stand up straight. You had to bend over to go through it. It had an old ground slide drug in there. We was putting on the cobs and shucks and blisters, cleaning it all out. Both of us had a scoop. And I pick up a scoop full of that stuff and there's a snake in it. And I dropped the scoop, jumped out the door. Where are you going? There's a snake. Dad said, that's a chicken snake. I said, I don't care what kind of snake it is. He said, he won't bite you if he does bite you. He won't hurt any worse than a rat bite. I don't want no rat bite me.
Right.
Sit down on the couch over here, Mr. Odom.
I want to stand it. My back's killing me.
Won't you sit in that chair? This will help you a whole lot.
No, sit in Jordan's chair. He ain't in here.
No,
He gave up his
there.
chair when he stood
Right
up.
there. That'll make your back
I
feel
got
right.
neuropathy and
Oh, my
bad
back.
back and arthritis. Just growing up just ain't as much fun as I thought it'd be.
So did we ever figure out where this schoolhouse?
Over yonder.
So it's on the west, to the right of this road.
Firecracker sing it one time.
Seen it more than once.
It wasn't, I was told, I never did see it all the years I lived here. I never did see it. But I was told it wasn't too far from the Shattuck's place, across it. And it was just across the biggest street. Well, I run down and I don't know where it turns and comes into Sparger. But I know, me and Grandpa camped on it one time. Boy, that's something else to go camping with Grandpa. We were living at Bronson Crosby's place at the time, and he lived up there where when you were born. Anyway, he come to the house. And I said, Grandpa, what am I gonna need? He said, I got everything. You don't need nothing. So we go back there, and before dark, he had some worms. We caught some perch, cut them up for bait on some pole hooks, lines. And after a while, he pulled out a biscuit, a sweet potato, and I don't know, sausage or ham or something. We ate it, and it started getting about dark. And he got some pine knots and all that. I said, Grandpa, he said, lay down and get you a little rest. I'll wake you up after a while. We'll go check them hooks. And anyway, I said, what am I going to sleep on? Well, I didn't even think of that. I said, rake you up some leaves. He lay down on that ground and put his head on the root for a pillow.
And slept like a baby.
Yeah, and
Did he snore?
I don't remember that for sure, but I know I itched a lot, sleeping in on them leaves I was raked up trying to sleep on. But he'd wake me up, and he didn't even have a flashlight. Had a pine knot, put it in that fire, got it going, and that's what we used for a light, go run them hooks.
Wow.
And
But that's how he grew up doing it, I guess, I'm sure. But that was the
Grandpa, I
experience.
remember 2 incidents, places he
You
lived.
talking about Hayward?
No, Aunt Ruby's daddy,
What was his name?
Henry,
I don't know.
William Henry, that's the right name.
William Henry.
No, you don't.
He was a big
He
firecracker,
died.
right?
He died before you.
But I remember when he lived down here by
I
Mr.
can't
Tanton.
sit in your chair.
Remember Mr. Tanton? Down there by the old sawmill, had the sawdust pile. Mr. Tanton lived this side of it.
Yeah,
Grandpa lived down there,
yeah.
across the road from
There.
Mr. Tanton's place over
There's 2 chairs over
Just
there.
diagonal almost. I remember when he was there, and then from there is
Wait a
when he moved to
You on the soft one? You want the soft?
Aunt Ann's and Uncle Walter's.
Yeah, they moved to Beaumont.
Yeah.
And when they moved to Beaumont, that's where he was at when he passed away.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Odom, how are y'all kin? I know y'all are. To A. Odom.
Hey, Odom. Well,
That was Stella Mae's daddy.
Aunt Josie
Yeah.
and my grandma
Sister.
Odom were sisters.
Was Josie and Odom too?
Raymer.
She was a Raymer.
I knew that.
Grandma was a Raymer before she married.
I
She
knew that.
married outside the, she got a tree. in
Outside the tree?
Park. Yeah. the
Outside
old
the
thing
tree.
that goes straight up, it ain't far.
And I'm not sure about Odom, if he and Dad and them was like first cousins or what.
Well, Odom and all them was cousins, the Auntie Heber, you know, all that divided
That's last month.
as time went along.
Yeah.
But Odom and Willie Odom were brothers.
Yeah.
Hey, is there a Willie and a Will? Is there a Will Odom and a Willie Odom?
He'll have a degree.
Who is, who was Helen Toller's dad?
A brother to.
He was older.
A brother
No,
to
that's
Stella Mae,
Uh-uh.
daddy.
Maybe a brother.
You're saying who
You know
was
that?
Willie Toller. His mama, Helen,
was older?
was older. Who was her dad? Was it Will Odom?
Willie.
Willie Odom.
Now, I think they called him Will all of his life, just about. But his name was Willie
Do you know Linda?
What?
Odom.
I'm sorry.
Helen Toller.
Who?
Helen Toller. Bill and Willie's mama. She was an Odom.
Oh, yes.
Who was her daddy?
William.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember a couple of
They
his
called
daughters,
him
Catherine, and then there was one just younger than her about my age. I can't remember her name.
Well, one of Will's, one of A's
Betty.
grandkids.
Man,
I can't remember his name, but he was, we talked to him. It's Calvin Spencer.
Calvin.
Yeah, but we need to.
Calvin served his funeral when we was there.
Yeah.
One of A's, A had a boy named Lois.
Oh, yeah, he had a bunch of kids. He had about 11,
And Lois had,
12 kids.
you talking about Lois or A?
He had a
But,
daughter,
Lord,
one of his
both of
daughters
them,
was
I think.
Lucy.
both of them did, but
Are you enjoying this?
Was
Grandma Jean?
Yes, I hear bits and pieces, you know, every now and then, but I'm Lynn,
I'm Lynn.
Said she
So
was
we'll
married
remember
to
each other.
That's right.
Pleasant
Lynn and Linda.
Odom and married to William Henry Odom. Is that a mistake?
yeah, gotta be.
Okay. Cause I thought she was only married one
What
time.
fouled up is you two names?
I never did know that she was married twice.
Well, it just shows it in the family
That'd be
tree.
true, on the computer.
Wasn't Eve an Odom?
Who?
Eve?
Eve was an older one.
Yeah. Adam was a cross.
Adam, and then he was
Adam
Charles.
was a cross.
Well, then we're all screwed up.
Yeah.
It's not just the Odoms and Crosbys.
well, can I tell y'all something that fixes all this? In Marilyn's family's life, Kenneth and Alice Dell, their genealogy went straight up a tree. And
No
I
forest.
come in this family and I finally had a branch go off. And that's the start of, and Joe too.
Yeah.
Joe too, and I nearly did, except I'm
It was
kin
just
to
a
him
little
too.
knot in
My
the
grandma was a
trunk.
Crosby.
Me and Joe
There.
had to
Grandpa was
stop that
across.
trap.
Hey.
Your grandma and my grandma were sisters.
Marvin Mott,
Uh-huh.
not Colton, at the store.
Right.
Was he his mama a Hick or a Durden?
Hicks, I think, or let's
She
see.
was. She was a hit.
She was a Hicks. Pretty
And
sure.
which one is that?
She was a daughter to the Hicks, what was his name? Owned the butane place in Spurgeon for years and years and years.
Not Laura.
There's Laurie Hicks. There's Frenchie Hicks. There's.
They're all brothers.
They
Was it Laura? Did Laura have a butane place?
yeah, I
I
think
think
it was.
it was Laurie, but I can't remember for sure, Joe.
Yeah. That's Carl Redmond. See, Carl Redmond's wife was a daughter of Warren.
Linnell,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Linnell
and
was
she
her
was
name.
a sister to Marvin's mom.
All right, I didn't know that. But I see Carlos Boyd down there one time. He was a wheelchair. What's wrong with him?
I don't know, he's been down for a long time, he's been in bad shape.
Does that make them keen? Can
That kind
I
of,
get a family discount at the knife shop?
No, you don't. I've already tried that. Me and I come up here to a fish fry one time at Linda's, and he was here. I said, "This is something I've been paying full price, and us kin folks."
I asked the doctor if I got a senior citizen discount, and they said, yeah, you got it. I guess that's Medicare paying 10% of their bill.
Right, right.
what did you tell me you was in the 10th grade when you moved from here? Ninth or 10th? Ninth grade.
Yeah.
I thought 10th.
How many times were you in the ninth grade?
Yeah.
2.5?
2.5.
It
Two and a
can't
half.
go above
Well, did you
five.
know?
Do you remember when we had 2.5 minute talks at church?
Yes.
Tell them what
Yes.
you'd do.
Huh?
Remember in Sunday school, you'd stand up and say, I need somebody to do a 2.5 minute talk.
Yeah. Boy, that was that's the way you just called them up, wasn't it?
What we call it, 2.5 minute
Minute
talk.
talk in Sunday
Yeah,
school, and he'd
yeah,
go,
that's
"Need
what you-
somebody, the Sunday school president, and he'd do that. Oh, man. Crack us up.
And I got
That's
the
funny.
world's best booger picker.
Oh,
Uh,
Yeah.
Drag them out
Go
there.
all the way to
Wrap
your
some cotton on it.
Well, how much older is Martin than you?
Not sure. I can't remember all that stuff, but he
But
was about 3 years
That's
old.
what I was thinking, about 3 years
I'm
old.
not sure exactly, but I believe it's about 3.
Because of the rig of the five of y'all or 4? No,
Mom had 5,
but.
and then
yeah,
Junior,
That's right, Junior made
you know,
6,
his mom and baby
But-
brother died in childbirth.
but of the 5, Martin was the oldest.
Martin, me, Ethel,
Yeah.
Melvin, and Walter.
You know, for a long time, I always thought, for a while Larry lived down.
Yeah, he stayed with
Y'all stayed
them
for
for
a
a
good little
while.
while. And during that time, I always thought that Melvin and Larry was the same age, but they're not. Walter and Larry's the same age. Melvin was almost a year and a half older than Larry.
I thought they were the same age
Larry
too.
told me, he said, no, Melvin almost a little over a year, nearly a year and a half old. But see, him and Larry run together all
Yeah.
the time. That's why I thought that
Yeah.
they were kind of the same age, because they hung out together. And I was staying down there one time for a few days for some reason, I don't know why. But I was staying there with them. And your daddy told Melvin and Walter today, well, they're talking about, now tomorrow y'all get them bean poles out of the garden. I want them all pulled up and stacked back in the shed. He run them, running beans on it. He said, y'all get them bean poles up. Now I'm younger, 6 years younger than Walter almost, probably. Yeah. 5 years anyway. But anyway, so I'm out there, I'm trying to help too, but I can't do a whole lot. Melvin must have somewhere he wanted to go that night. Cause he was out there, he was yanking them bean poles and he wanted them clean. He wanted them vines off of them. Daddy did. Don't stack them in there with them vines. Get them vines off. Melvin was yanking them bean poles up. He was cleaning them, and he was coming out of there with loads of bean poles. Walter would come out with 3 or 4 bean poles on his shoulder. And Melvin would have a load. He'd have 15 on his shoulder coming out of there. He made 2 or 3 trips like that, and directly he got mad at Walter. He said, Walter, get the lead out of it. Let's get these bean poles out of here. You can haul more of that. But Walter always went around making noise like 18 wheelers. I did 18 wheeler truck all the time, 15 years. And well, we got mad at him and hollered at him. And I will never forget this, I guess. That was the funniest thing. Walter looked at him and he said, Marilyn, I'm hollering all in hall. He said, I got a bad throw out bearing right now. Walter, Marilyn turned red, I'm telling you, he did. I said, I wish I'd had that recorded and wrote down. That was the funniest thing. Walter told me, Beverly, leave me alone. I'm hauling all in the hall. My throw out bearing back.
That Walter was a man.
And the other thing he could do, and nobody's got any of them, and I wished 1,000 times somebody would have kept him. That Walter was an artist. He could draw. I'm telling you, and he had these books full of old cars, Model T, Model A, 52 Chevrolet Ford, and I mean, he'd draw them things that look identical to the car. It was amazing. And I thought, boy, nobody probably kept none of them books. I was wasting it. And he loved building model cars. He'd build model cars all in planes where you had to glue them together. And I tried to help him, but he,
Get away from here, fire.
yeah, get away from here. Don't touch that. Don't back. And me and him was at home by ourselves one time. And I don't know why we were there, but we were there. And he was fixing something to eat, or gonna fix something to eat. And he was in the cabinet and he got a can of cocoa down, and just that old black bitter cocoa. Now I didn't know the difference, but I said, I like that. He said, you like that cocoa? I said, yeah, I like cocoa. I like that. He said, you like it? I said, yeah. Well, Larry fixed it for us, but he put sugar in it. I didn't know that. And Walter got that cocoa down and dipped out 2 or 3 big old spoonful, put it in a glass and give it to me, a cup. And I sneaked in there and got that. And I looked like talking about Steve Hyde and all them around here dipping that stuff on my coffee. Black cocoa going everywhere. And I couldn't hardly get it down. It was choking me so bad and coughing. And it was just blowing out everywhere. And Walter said, you gotta eat that firecracker. If you don't, Mom will come in and see, she'll be mad if you don't eat that. Keep eating it. So I just kept trying to eat it, trying
You
to
know,
eat it.
Walter was born at the old Parker place. I never will forget it.
Wow.
And it seemed like Aunt Agnes and some, maybe Fanny Mott, I don't know, 3 or 4 ladies over there, midwives.
Yeah.
And I never will forget when they picked him up and sent him, they had a pan of water and put it in, boy, and he, look at that. I never will forget that.
Hey, talk about the Odom family history. Who named you Firecracker?
Grandpa Odom, I think.
Which one, Grandpa?
Henry Odom, ain't Ruby's
All
daddy.
right. But I never have known you anything but James Henry Odom.
Well,
Nobody
I
knows who
used
that
to
is.
stay with him a lot. I stayed with him over here, and I tell him, that you can hire. Grandpa lived 3 or 4 or 5 places around here. Last place I remember him living, you remember
When you were
when you turn
born,
right there by Chester Hicks, you go back in there.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm talking about, that road?
I know where that road is.
Okay. Mr. Tanton used to live back there. Wasn't hardly no houses on that road. Mr. Tanton lived back there. There's another older couple lived right before you got Mr. Tanton. And then Grandpa lived straight across the curve. You went around that curve right before you went there. Best I remember Grandpa and him lived in a little house right out that way. Well, I remember him living there, and the reason I remember it, the most vivid thing in my mind was that Grandpa plowed, helped Mr. Tanton. He owned most of that land around there. And Grandpa farmed it with him, hecked it. And I can remember Grandpa with a mule and they plowed. And I think about it, not hard enough to plow with a mule and keeping a dadgum plow in the ground start with, but Grandpa would set me on that cross member on that plow, and I'd hold him round the neck,
Mm.
and he'd plow with me sitting on that.
Wow.
And I can remember that.
Wow.
And then the next thing I remember is him, they moved him to Beaumont down there, man, and then we're at that rice farm. The big pasture, and they built Grandpa and then that little white house out there.
Yeah.
And I used to go stay with them there, and when I would go stay with them there, so they say, I don't remember too much being that way, but all the brothers and sisters gang up on me said, yeah, it was that way. I would stay, and a lot of times when Daddy would come get me or something, take me home, I'd have a fit. Throw up, yell, cry, kick, and stuff. That's how when Grandpa started calling me that.
Wow.
And it stuck.
Who was that? Whose house was that he was buying?
Ain't in.
Aunt Ann,
Aunt
okay,
Ann.
Anna Berta?
Actually, when you're heading down the Annie, you go through China.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Okay.
I was thinking that was who, but I missed that.
Just out of China there.
Yeah, it was nice.
And Grandpa, one time, we used to get out, Grandma would make us take a nap every day. Every day after dinner, we had to take a nap.
She needed some peace and quiet.
Huh?
She needed some
Right.
peace and quiet.
Grandma
didn't
would
she?
go lay on the bed, and you had two couches, and I'd get on one couch, Grandpa would get on the other couch. Well, we'd lay there, Grandpa didn't even take a nap either. But we'd lay there, and I'd be fidgeting, jumping, and kind of turning, and Grandpa would go, and keep doing it. Well, the minute you hear Grandma go snoring,
Then you were free.
and then Grandpa
Yeah.
would be like that. And he'd pick his shoes up, he wouldn't put them on, we'd go out in the porch, he'd open that door real easy, we'd go out on the porch, he'd put his shoes on. And it was nearly every time we would not make it to the front gate, and Grandma would open
Four
that door.
more after that.
And she'd say, Henry, you and that boy get back in here, y'all ain't had no nap, get in here.
Uh,
Yeah. And
Gordon, I
Grandma,
don't know how you get mail. I wouldn't touch that mailbox for fear of getting electrocuted.
right.
You'll get you. There's some folks that do substitute.
Throw that on the ground there beside you?
Yes, they won't open up that.
Oh, wow.
Now you guys, Roger has got to tell us a story. Now Roger, you gotta get deep into it and just.
Wait a minute, I know most of Roger's stories, but they would be fit to tell on everybody.
All the details.
Rated R.
You
Yeah,
gotta,
for Roger.
well, Roger gave us DV version, okay.
it's gotta be detailed, Roger.
Okay,
Word
Roger,
start and finish.
Okay, what?
Roger,
But
remember the day that Stevie took us on our first plane ride?
I don't remember
We met in Odomville and you were there, then you sat in the back and Roger, Stevie and Earline sat up
Yeah.
front. And he drove us over Danby and over Odomville and
Yeah, I don't remember
you don't
that.
remember?
No.
Okay, that was a
I
scary
forgot
time.
so much stuff.
But they flew right over here and Grandma Alice had all my kids, so they all ran out in the road and they were down there waving to us. And
Buzzed Odomville.
yes, he
Buzzed
buzzed
it.
it.
Wow.
And Stephen dipped down and I was so scared.
Yeah. I remember, going 2 or 3
Uh-huh.
times flying with him.
Okay, I thought you
Yeah.
might remember that
now
story.
Joe, you'll
Yeah.
like this story. It involves
Like all Roger's
a
stories.
gun, a pistol.
Which one do you want to hear?
The one that guy broke in your shed.
Oh. Got, my wife, she, I think it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. She come in there and I was gonna sleep through it. And, she said, Roger, get up. Get up, there's somebody in our shed out there. So I got up and I looked out the Venetian blind. And you could see a light every now and then in the shed.
Hmm.
And that's where we kept our freezer and all that. And so anyway, she said, what you think I need to do? I said, call the police. So she called them and I don't know, they was en route
but they was on the next street behind us. And, so anyway, after a while, well, I don't know if the guy spotted the laws or what. But anyway, he come out of the shed and, he was running to get away. And, I went out on the back porch.
Did he
had
have
snow.
anything in his hand?
Not then.
Okay.
And, so anyway, he broke and run. So I run out on the porch and I clapped my hand 3 times and it sounded just like a pistol. And I said, put your hands in there. And boy, he throwed them up. And I said, I got him going my way. I went out there with my finger and his finger was cold. And I put it behind his ears and I kind of quivered a little bit. And I guess that cold finger felt just like steel. I told him, I said, get on the ground. And he said, the ground's wet. I said, all right. So I laid him up there by the house. There was a sidewalk there, and I let him lay on it. And I got on top of it. You couldn't see nothing but his ears and his feet. And the wife said, don't kill him, Roger. Well, the dispatcher, that held on. So she's trying to speed him up some. And so anyway, he'd lift his head every now and then. I said, get it on the ground. I said, it's got a hair trigger on it. I said, it's fully loaded. And I said, I'll blow your head off. And he went to shaking and everything. And my wife said, don't kill him, don't kill him. So that's why the laws, boy, they give it more gas and they go
Here, on the phone,
So he said, I was hungry. It's why I broke in the shed. He said, I was hungry. And I said, well, why didn't you knock on the door? I said, we'd have split a bologna sandwich or anything. He was hungry. I said, we don't turn nobody down. Well, about that time, the laws come up. And they threw the handcuffs on him. But I had his hands behind his back and everything. If I'd had some of them tie wraps, I'd have had him handcuffed and everything. And they said, sir, you can get off of him now. So each one of them got an arm, kind of helped me get off of him. The first thing the guy done, he blowed like a mule that's been plowing all day. And, so anyway, they took me to the cop car. And I told him, I said, well, they had asked him what he was doing. And he said, well, he was hungry. But anyway, I told the laws, I said, I don't want him coming back on my place. So they loaded him up. They come back around and said, sir, he may break in the neighbor's house. He'll never come back here. He got off and went to breathing again. But anyway, what it was, he was trying to steal my family pack of pork chops and a family pack of steak. And he tried to get my air compressor out, too, but it wouldn't fit between the studs.
wow.
He had 13 guns in there, but all he wanted was the meat.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I'll say wow.
Yeah, I
How
know.
are you on surf park?
Yeah, to save on bullets and everything.
Dig them up.
Right.
Yeah.
The finger was cold, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they was cocked and ready to shoot.
But I seen him after that. He'd be walking down the street. When he'd get even with a house, he'd switch sides. He didn't want to go with that.
Yeah, I bet.
It wasn't funny at the time, but as time went on, I imagined that I was talking to town.
Wow.
Didn't have a pistol on. Just my finger.
Wow.
Was that your house in Vidor?
Yeah.
That's where that happened?
Yeah.
On Tanny
I
Hill.
missed that, I missed that house.
Yeah.
You ever arrest someone like that, Joe?
No, I was there when somebody else did one time.
With the finger.
Well, we had a Houston policeman. He was all slid down in the car with his knees on the dash, just looking out over the window, waiting for something to happen, and it did. And he had his pistol just stuck down the back of his britches. And all that moving around, it fell out.
Oh, no.
We all jump out of the car. He's the first one to these outlaws' car, he run up there, goes that gun, it ain't there. That's what he said. Hands up! And the crook said, don't shoot me that thing.
Oh my goodness. That's too funny.
Smith, not Wesson.
Yes.
That was good.
Roger, would you tell him a R-rated one when you had?
No, don't tell that. It
Nature
embarrassing.
call.
Everybody.
When nature called and you had to beat down the grass when you was on the
Oh,
dozer?
yeah, that's all. Yeah,
It's okay.
That's R.
It's okay.
They have nightmares.
He said he had to go when nature called, so he jumped off the dozer and the grass was high, so he beat it down. And when he squatted down, there was a snake crawling out.
Oh,
He said he
no.
looked like a kangaroo because he couldn't run.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm sure with the truth.
Hot like a kangaroo. What's wrong with
Dang.
him?
Yeah.
Right? Wow.
We'll turn over all of it to you, Roger. I know you got a pile of them.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
I've done a lot of them. I know when, what it was, this lady had passed away.
That don't bother me
And,
much.
You know, used to, they called the county to come dig the grave and all that. But anyway, I was working for the county and they called,
He's a frequent visitor
the
now.
caretaker called up there and he said, listen, he said, I need two good men to come, help dig the grave. Said his lady passed away.
But it's the Golden Year Street.
Well, they didn't have them,
office.
so they sent it me and this other fellow.
They make it good
They're
money,
making
And the other
it-
guy, he run a
Yeah.
backhoe.
prescribing them
And I
pills.
drove a tractor with a little buggy behind it and I'd haul the grave dirt to the back, hook onto an engine when it come back and he'd load in. And, so anyway, we dug the grave and everything the first evening. So we're supposed to come the next day.
Anyway, and they're
You know,
giving
they was
me
gonna
heart
bury it.
tests. I got another one coming up. this
So
week.
anyway, my friend that I'd
My
worked with,
time's here.
he had to go to Bridge City.
But we're still here.
So it was getting
Well,
time.
you know, I
They said come around
called
noon.
the day before yesterday.
Anyway,
Dr. Oz,
the caretaker called and he said, listen, he
He
said,
did surgery.
are you
on
coming
this
down
artery,
here? And I said,
about
he
10
said, the
years
lady's
ago.
over the grave waiting to be buried.
They
And I said, well,
discovered this one. is
my friend's
totally
gone to Bridge
blocked,
City. I'd like to wait for
and
him.
they won't-
Because I didn't like the idea of no how food and all
Because you've
that.
already had one side done.
And,
Well,
so anyway, he said,
I
well,
don't
come
know
on.
why.
He
They
said,
say when they totally
he'll
blocked,
be
and my
back at the
cardiologist
wall.
told me the same thing.
So I went
They
down there and it was a
discovered it
caretaker.
first. They sent
It
it
was
to
me,
him because he had
And then
been-
this lady, her husband, dug graves and stuff for a living. But they,
Anyway,
he
I had to
did
go a couple weeks ago.
and,
They did
so anyway,
on this check.
caretaker
but they
asked
went
me,
ahead
said,
and checked them both.
Roger, have you ever
Still
done
blood
this kind of work before?
in this one.
I said, no, sir, I never did care to.
Close to 60%.
He said, well, we'll just do our best.
So, but he
So
told
anyway,
me,
she was
kinda
over the
pretty.
grave.
I went online.
I didn't know
checked him out.
how they done it,
Pretty
but they got a little
well.
crank and they put it on one of them legs
High
and holds it
credentials,
up, and they crank it,
but, put
and then
paper in
straps,
it.
what the coffin
I'm
is
pretty
sitting
sure it was
on,
something he told me.
Well,
He said,
that's what controls that. So, boy,
God
he's
has created
tightening it, you know,
the human body.
loosening it, you know, lowering the grade.
Blood, There's enough of vessels will take
He
over.
told me, he said,
Supply sufficient blood.
you know, it's hung up. And the
But I
vault,
don't know.
it's kinda
I
crooked,
put my
so
faith in my
coffin
head.
wouldn't go down in there.
So
He
won't
said, we're
touch
gonna have to
either
lift it
one.
back up.
No, this one is like.
Well, he'd been drinking, you
went
could
from
smell
about
it on his bad.
50% to 60%.
So he
in the
goes
last
cranking
6
it the other
months.
way. He gets up there at the
And,
top,
Now,
and the straps
November.
break. He just keeps cranking. Straps
for
break.
9 months.
The
they
coffin
checked
turns
me
upside
again.
down. She's hanging out.
Oh, no.
I can't tell you what he said,
Yeah.
but I said, mercy, mercy. And the lady said, we've been in business 35 years. I ain't never seen nothing like this.
Oh,
We
my.
broken, Mom. We look like a road runner. Our feet was moving, but we couldn't get it in gear.
You know, I'm kind of.
We was just bogging down there, you know.
And, caretaker said, Roger, run across the road and get us a Larry. Said, we're gonna have to rope her. And they had a little shop across the highway. So I run over there, the closest thing I could find something you got chips with. Here I go to dragging him across the road and everything. He ties his knots and everything. He goes, Daddy, Owen. I mean, he throws it over the first time. We sucked her out of the
Wow.
And I said, what we gonna do now? He said, we're gonna take her and put her in the Kento's chairs, that front row.
Oh,
And
no.
I said, well, if somebody drives up, and it was right by the highway, heavy traffic. He said, throw some grass on it. I looked around, and I said, the grass is dead. He said, no, they didn't go out no car. I don't even know what she looked like, cause I was carrying her like this. We sat her in that front row. And, we got the ball and everything straightened out.
You know, he got his arm.
He said, okay, he said, we'll put her back in there. But what happened, his headpiece that was raised to look at, it had fell in the grave. So he told me, he said, Roger, he said, I hate to ask you, but you're gonna have to get in that grave to get that head.
We had one big
I said,
family
what?
get together.
And, so anyway, I kept one hand above the ground. And, I was reaching around, he said, do it to the right, do it to the left. Just in case it went to caving, I was gonna, this thing, boy, it's been clawing in it.
Right. Oh my
But
gosh.
anyway, we put the headpiece and put her back in there, lowered her in the ground.
Wow. Never heard of it.
All welded in.
But I had always wondered when a funeral home, as they were, like say a farmer's funeral home. We appreciate y'all coming,
I'd much rather do that than serve.
and said it's over.
Yeah, I never.
Well, they want everybody to leave.
Before they put it in the ground.
Before they, yeah, they do. And, so, anyway, I always wondered why funeral homes wanted you to leave, in case something like that happened.
That's why.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've always heard,
Traumatized family.
So and so, he'll roll over his grave. But I seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Horrible.
Oh my gosh.
All very wrong.
That's too funny.
It is wet. Ground not level, and they had plywood. With plywood around the tree, and the family too. And if they're walking up there, one of them slipped on that plywood, went right on that hole, right in the grave.
Oh no.
I stayed in that little
And
white
throw the
house.
bus fit down there, and then he
I
climbed
was going to college.
caught himself.
I think
But he
Grandma
come
let-
crawling out of it on that plywood right in the loud family.
Oh no.
So everybody on that tent laughing in their rear end, just trying not to laugh out loud.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how you keep from laughing at a deal like that.
Wow.
I don't know
Wow.
about what thought about you might have done like you.
She's recording.
So we can get the story.
This will be gone, you know.
Yeah. We'll download it and try to make some copies on
Yes.
cards and
Yeah.
send them out. People just plug them in and watch it.
Well, I tell you, your daddy,
And I said, well, I'll go ahead.
he's like the rest of us over there that we raised up here. I'm gonna tell you, this used to
He
be
said, come out of the office, and he said, I'll pay you. And he gave me
the
$10.
claimants, I mean, the people that we got together.
$5.
They would read,
Dig two graves,
all
$5.
and how come I ended up here was, see, his dad and my dad were brothers.
Yeah, that's not what they want.
Aunt Ruby, right over here in the hill, the house still there,
I think her kids were
was the
adopted.
oldest.
Her dad was sick, and the girl.
The girls laying at the end of our club down there.
And,
No boys marking.
then
They drove
your
from
grandfather
Taking Metal Rock.
was the next oldest. And my dad was the third oldest.
Wow.
Moved that group.
My
My dad married twice.
That she was into
Well,
genealogy,
you know,
so I could
trying to
find
And,
genealogy.
well, he's actually,
Briar, here they
married
say a
3
lot.
times.
The
Dad
girl
stepmother.
lives in.
This afternoon, tomorrow, I'm gonna try to
But
find it.
dad's first wife,
Up
who was
there,
married
Teddy
to,
was
had
sitting
one
there.
daughter,
Touch everybody, I guess.
and that was it. One girl.
And it's two.
He was
So
famous
they
I
for
guess back for
tape on there and buried.
brush on for a while.
she passed away
More
several
than
years
that,
ago.
Oh.
Me and Dad married our mother,
Probably.
and it was kind of like,
Trees fell out.
when you married our mother, mother had 5 of us.
Things so were all fine anyway. And I got hung up in the vines. And instead of just going down.
Most of them
I
were
just fought.
like a year and a half apart. Me and I'm the youngest. My sister next to me, me and her.
Find yourself.
Wow.
Get out of the vines.
That's what happened.
Her mother,
Where I lived in
epilepsy,
Really?
So I had been there.
I tried to catch
Mm.
myself.
she died when she was
When I
37.
fell,
Oh, wow.
I hit my head.
But her and Dad divorced long before. And I was a baby. I really don't even remember.
If I'd have wanted to fall
Found
in
a better place.
but I hit her, I fell on my head,
And I was
and I
living
was scared to even reach up.
to leave bed.
Then
my mom
And
her
I got a
dad
I
call.
couldn't get up on my arm.
married
I tried to get up,
They had-
untangled there.
a woman named Earl.
Yeah, well,
Well, Karen and them couldn't hear
Been
me.
married, had children of her.
Right. I remember you
I
told
pulled
me.
myself up.
Say
finally.
you don't have to be there.
And when I got to know the mother, that was her. She was
And then-
one. Didn't know no difference.
I just went down
But she was
and.
the only mother.
Wow.
We were living in Hull then.
About
She was at the hospital and
And,
I was with her when she died.
your grandpa, which your daddy was
Bill
gone,
gets
married.
Your dad worked the oil field
They
too?
worked all like his dad. They worked together for years and years.
Oh, wow.
That's how they left this part of the country and ended up, my dad was
We get everyone else in there.
the same territory like me.
I was gonna get her.
And they worked all fields around here, things got big oil boom and so they got sour toe, sour tank, all that big oil field. They all did that. Well, while we were living there,
And that's true. That lasts about 60 minutes.
my dad got
That's what it gets for.
They really go south.
They tried
Oh,
to.
wow.
Yeah.
could never
I'm
work
thinking it
again.
won't be. They tried to keep me down.
Now, we were living
And then,
pretty normal, like most people. Had good lives. Grandpa still working there, Melvin, Walker,
That was been in like the 50s.
and had a good home. Nice automobile, you know, we lived pretty standard like everybody else. Until Dad got hurt.
You know,
When Dad got hurt,
check on
of course, lost some elbows, couldn't raise her leg.
concrete.
There they hung under the house, we hung on that.
You sit on it. And,
actually, dog.
Back in them days, you didn't get no help from the government.
Then I started working.
You didn't get no social security.
while she was doing it,
None of
they
that.
put fires out.
Now, he did get a little
So I
pay,
had to get up.
told, pay from the company,
Done that.
but it wasn't much.
She and your
And I
mom.
fell over back.
That's sad.
I was told maybe two
My
thousand.
head hit the tombstone on my grave.
Then a lawyer got
But for the plate that it said there,
Your mom's
so
name.
the money ran out for the
well,
company.
I had, I mean,
And we were desperate. You know, we were,
I got so hurt. She said, hey,
Yes.
I said, you all right?
now me being young,
I said, yeah.
And I can remember we lived in an old house. Before we lived in that house, I was told later the plan Daddy bought that place. An old house. Wouldn't fit the bill, really, but his plans were to build a new house.
I should have went to
Daddy.
We had a nice house in Odom. I mean, they lived there and they lived not too far. My daddy's place.
I remember that place. I still vividly.
But Daddy bought this land, more land, and told him he was gonna build a house, but he never got it.
Wow.
She had a.
Well, when he got hurt, and things really got my brother, he died, he passed away 2 days
Before they did the thing, that was expanded.
He still wouldn't eat them ever again.
She told
Wow.
when we were young.
And with no milk, no
She
sugar,
had something in
he
her head.
just cooked it in a pot and added some more water.
We
And
both remember her getting hit bleeding real.
And your grandpa,
I know he wasn't.
remember after he was trying to help, they
They
were
had
trying to
homemade, they had built.
trying to help, but he had his family. So he did have a lot of extra money.
He got hurt too, didn't he? He got burnt.
He got burnt years before that in the pier.
Okay.
They lived in the pier. He was working out Hillister field.
Oh, when he
You
got
know where
burnt.
Hillister is?
Kind of, yeah.
If you left back, I don't know how y'all. If y'all come up through Beaumont area, you come around through Coots and Wood.
Coons. Yeah, we come up.
Do you come
Yeah,
up
through
Coots and cut
Coots.
off the
Yeah,
hill? I bet you come through the Spurger right out.
Yes,
Spurger.
sir.
Yes.
Y'all come through Hill.
Yeah, I remember seeing that sign. Remember I said Hillary Street?
Oh, yes.
Back off
After
Hill.
Oh, I didn't know they had all filled up there. I was thinking it was days that all that. Oh, wow.
And I can remember, I called him tomorrow.
That's
Then after that,
Wow.
but we got,
Dang.
anyway, we were pretty up against it.
I'm thinking it's 29, but
I was a baby.
it's sad.
And I had a first grade teacher. Miss Joseph Murphy. Never forget her. Had no children. I guess she felt sorry for me in the first grade. We looked pretty ragged. Wore the same clothes. You know, one of them type
They
kids.
called me the other day, said she had COVID.
And she took me under her wing. And I can remember
To see kids.
starting
And,
school
They
just a
called
week
a
or
week
so.
ago.
she was in there, she was my bud when I had my baby. And she
And one
loved
day,
him, hold him, played
Doing
with
all right.
him.
another teacher come into the classroom and take over the class, and she come got me, she said, Granny, she go, come in.
But I leave, that was on a Monday. On Wednesday, I go back
She
there. She didn't have
took
one
me
television.
in the
nothing
gym
on.
bathroom, gripped me
Got it on
down.
Perry, baby.
Look.
You probably go to jail nowadays if you don't keep it.
Imagine.
But that's back when people really cared.
That's
That's
right.
when we had all this mess going on.
Isn't that sad what's happening?
But anyway, she made me put new clothes on.
What he hoped it'd be.
Wow.
Shirt and pants, shoes, and she gave me a nickel to speak. Every kid had a nickel for a break. We did. She gave me a nickel.
Wow.
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 When school was out, she'd take me back. Got those clothes off me, put my
Pick
clothes
it back up a little bit somehow.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
I think he's
Now
trying.
you come up to the house, I got about,
Next
Gordon's
day I
trying
come
to
to school.
I'm thinking a mile of fence road, you just
He
pass
had
one
to
there,
be
down my feet, that's when we had
Do
the
it
last
again.
day.
Right here.
Wow.
What could we
She
do?
did
You
that for
know?
a whole year.
Maybe to help.
Really?
raise Sadie. And I said,
No, I
maybe
didn't
that's
know
what she
this
was.
till
She
years later.
In August.
When it come payday, she
At
said,
the hottest time of the year.
Anyway,
You know, one time it didn't matter.
There was a couple old guys.
Yeah.
I didn't go to
It's
school
not
long.
as it used to be now.
One guy said,
Well, I failed
for
for
lunch,
lunch.
fixing
Cause
a
I just
meat
didn't know.
sandwich.
yeah.
Nobody
And
was
the other guy
home to
said,
make
"No,
us
that's
go.
nothing. She
No, I
fixed me
told
up."
Dad
Joe's
went
mom
in and
was
out.
it's only
Actually,
Joe's
in the
mom.
first grade year, that was the year
Told me a joke.
him,
Don't tell me again.
It's your
and
mama.
Yeah, they
Told
go,
me.
and nice people, she sat around there with
That's
glass,
old
Old lady in the nursing home.
she's nice.
about the middle of the
And
year.
they're
But he was
having a
gone
meeting.
a lot.
Yeah, she had a glass of beer,
My
she
older
just sit
sister,
there,
which was 11,
and, they was too old to have, I sent my boys over
was the
there.
one that took care of us.
Yeah.
And soon we got ready to catch the bus. and
Give
had
them a
to-
dollar for the front
No,
yard,
we're
a dollar
gonna
for the back.
We're gonna eat in about 6 minutes. 6.
Oh, let me
So
know
if you need to go to the bathroom, if you need to wash your hands or
Okay.
whatever, then you can get that
That's
done.
something new.
And, we don't wanna get
But-
dry on it.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
old lady-
Anyway,
It's
she,
done.
uh,
It's
like-
done.
she took
Right.
me,
Never can guess what's in
My
there.
grandkids, they walk up to you and wipe their nose on your leg.
And-
Wow.
Well, things got so bad at the end of the year, I found out later.
Thanksgiving, Gavin, and my
I didn't know it till I was
side.
grown. She went to daddy to try to adopt me.
Covered with
She wanted to adopt me.
some kind of feather close to the edge.
He was doing all he
Maybe a
could to
little
keep
more,
the
I knew
family
it long,
together.
digging it out.
I wonder
But
if somebody.
things got so
somebody
bad,
told
he
you.
finally had to form us out among relatives. That's when my brother went to live with your grandpa, which was his uncle.
Oh, you look at it, there's a
Others
whole
went to
bunch
other
of
families.
this.
I come up
And
here
they're
and they
different
lived in the
sizes.
field
Wash your feet in here.
Yeah.
and never
How many
left.
grandkids you got?
Wow.
They weren't raised.
She's in charge.
And you got
Wow.
They had 7 kids
Two.
of their own.
2 grandkids.
Yeah.
Carolyn, do we have? to
Wow.
wash our
And their
feet,
baby
too?
No,
was a
you do
girl,
not.
and she
And
had
you don't
just
even have to have
graduated
shoes
high
on.
Daddy
school
always said, wash your feet and hands, we're gonna eat.
that year,
Oh,
which was the
okay.
end of that year into
Not
summer.
here.
She'd been out all summer.
Oh, okay.
And
Which
when I
way
came
is it?
up here,
Bathroom, restroom, whatever.
Right now, your
I,
first door to the
was
left.
in the first grade,
Oh,
and then
I
when they
know,
raised their
what's wrong
family,
with
they
that?
started
Oh,
over
all
with
of
me.
this
I
crap,
know it.
Wow.
And that's how I got raised.
Well, that's what they said.
So me and my brother and sister were never together again after that.
Because when they
We were
get
all
on,
raised.
snap, crackle, and pop.
Even though
Oh,
my brother
okay,
ended up
okay,
here in
that's probably
Springer,
true. I know I do
went
it
to
now.
school here, he
Joe
ended
does
up here,
too.
because he come and stayed with our cousin, lived right up the road here. He had a boy a couple of years younger.
It was,
He
my
stayed
knees
there
was
a while.
real bad.
Then he had a
Lost
good
a little
friend he
weight,
liked,
And now
and
it's
he
my
left
hips.
here and went and lived with him the last 2 years of school.
So,
And my hips might have hurt all this time.
My
I
oldest
didn't know it
sister
because the
raised
knees
mine.
hurt worse.
Yeah.
I don't
Next to the
know.
youngest,
Yeah, they do.
next to the oldest
This
sister,
is
which is
an
still
old
alive. Me and her on one
I
line,
was
she
in
lived
all
in
this
Rachel.
out so we can feel.
Mm.
It was
Then we had a
totally
cousin, first cousin, her husband raised
This
my
is the
sister
last
next to me.
bunch that knows anything about
Wow.
And then
past.
Cuba
The
raised
rest
me.
of it they don't.
Here.
Wow.
So that's how I got tied in. The
Wow.
rest of it was tied
Oh,
as I
it's
am.
not
Always
as
they
big
go
size.
behind, we just eat one left.
Wow. That's amazing.
So it was a great time. We're grateful for the family. We have a lot of history. I tell you, the Odom, wherever and ever, always helped one another.
You know, they had.
Then, and back in them days, everybody stayed in touch. Your daddy, even when you born, I remember when y'all was babies. Y'all used to come up here, y'all can't even remember it, because y'all barely walking.
Yeah.
But Jimmy hired your mama to come up here and talk. See, ain't Ruby no kid.
It was his stomach throwing up.
He was one of them that couldn't stay away
Different
very long.
hair for it.
Yeah.
And I
And
gave her.
it really has been,
And his heart is in his,
with us, our age group, this has been bad.
yes.
Completely. Forever. Even though it's changed, we call this Odomville because one time there wasn't nothing but here. This land now here, this road goes down, This land, about here back and over there back, Odom's been on that. Some other people. Well, we should have bought it. We all got together and talked about it. The problem was, none of us had a lot of money at that time. I just got married.
I wash his clothes, but I never got it.
But there was 80 acres in here.
Oh, wow.
Over here and on this side back that come up for sale.
All of his friends that he worked with.
And we said, well, buy that. It's yours. This Odom plan here with, from here back is over 100 acres. The Pleasant Odom. And then gave his kids, then divided up between his kids. That's how come Maryland Garden got this. Well, this is part of what Kenneth bought. So this back was the other son part of the original Odom land.
Wow.
But, and we could have bought it. If I remember correctly, when that come up for sale, it was like 600 acres.
Wow.
Now this land selling 10,000, 12,000.
Is it really that?
We didn't buy it. We bought pieces of it, but not much, because nobody could really just make that kind of
I
loss.
still have asbestos in my ceiling.
Well, there was a guy come in here, Oswald Jordan, and bought it.
The insulation.
Mm.
And then he's the one that pushed this road. That road wasn't there. He made that road. Cleared off spots of land and started selling it. That's why we have other people, especially down here. This is still owned by Odom, straight across from here to Linda's house. All of that's over and across. They're back. There's some people living back in there. That's not. Then this family's just moved in here. But it's still, everybody refers to
My
it.
mother-in-law,
Wow.
Odomville. Because that reason.
I'll be. Wow.
And then I used to hunt all the time back here where your daddy raised for years. He called it Parker Place.
I hear you talk about it.
Yeah.
That road goes right down side this house, right back there. Goes down here and turns. Goes back. I mean, it went straight in across the branch. And we have a tale about my grandpa. Mine and my dad's grandpa, Henry. He was a very patient man. Everybody always said that, and I remember him being gentle and patient. When I was little, it's hard to be gentle with a little kid full of energy. But he was. Now, Grandma wasn't that way. Grandma was strict, boy. She was strict.
My grandma
But
was.
not Grandpa. Grandpa was very gentle, kind of. But they tell a story about how much patience he did have in the family. They tell the story that Grandpa was so patient. He took 3 days to change a flat tire.
Wow.
Now, it was Jimmy's oldest brother, Uncle Mark. Let's see. Yeah.
Mark was the oldest.
And Kenneth Odom lived right up here on here. His son still lives in his house. But that reason like he was second oldest child. Him and Martin, I take that back, not Martin. No, Ray sat, it wasn't Martin. Uncle Walter,
The youngest boy.
Uncle Walter Odom, which was your grandfather's youngest brother. My daddy's youngest brother.
Oh.
Uncle Walter.
Oh.
Grandpa lived in that Parker place back here before your daddy and them did. They got it later for Grandpa when he moved. Then Uncle Emery got it from his daddy.
Wow.
But Uncle Walter was the youngest son. Him and Kenneth were the same age. So Kenneth was raised up right up here.
Oh, wow.
So they stayed with each other.
Mm.
Kenneth and Walter stayed a lot, so they were going one day.
Well, I reckon they called you in there.
They were going
Somebody got
home.
walked